I fucked up. Could you pass me the lighter, please? Yeah, I fucked up the audio last time because basically the way it's recorded now on my Mac, it's recorded on QuickTime Player.
Oh yeah.
And I was proper nervous, like when that Shade Spooner guy came, and
that was the most recent podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, it was so sound, like I proper enjoyed.
Yeah, no, I watched that.
And I had a proper good reaction as well, like perfect guest to have for the first podcast.
Yeah. Definitely. How did you get into like getting him on the podcast?
My mate Borna told me about him. Oh fuck, this light has done out, you know. Almost done out. My mate Borna told me about him because I was like, since I've started this podcast, bro, like so many people have been so helpful. So many people have been like, oh yeah, like have you heard of this guy, or if you need help, like it's been nice.
Yeah.
And they told me it's like, oh, just watch his Insta stories. And bro, it's just a mad one. Like I was literally sat engaged in his Insta stories for about 3 hours, just fucking seeing everything. But when I click record on this, basically, there's like a setting you've got to change so it records through the mics. But I was recording it through the MacBook. So I don't think a lot of people could tell. A few did. Yeah,
because the sound was calm. Like I could hear what it was saying.
It's because I took the sound from both of the iPhones.
Ah, true.
But like I had to like both of them were at different levels as well. Like the cameras were further. Like the camera on him, for example, was closer to me. But the camera on me was closer to him, so the mic wasn't really picking it up when it was facing me. It was further away. If that makes sense. So I had to like adjust both of them so they're different levels.
Yeah, learning curves, innit? Obviously learning curves, bro. You know what I mean? You're coming through. Do you know what I mean? What is that? That was the third one, innit? Was that the third podcast?
Second one.
Is that the second one? This is the third one. Yeah, man.
Z the man.
Do you get me? I'm here. Paul's pod.
It's mad, like you set the light up. I feel like me and you are so close, but like I've literally not even known you for like a year.
It's like I've known who you are for like a year and a half or something like that.
Yeah, because obviously I followed Preme Sound. I knew I was a fan of you before I met you, mate. I remember messaging Preme Sound like 2018 because Tom showed me the Off License tune. From there, bro, there was the Winning Side as well. When you're in the bar.
Yeah. These are the old school tunes. This is what I'm saying. So obviously I knew who you are since then, innit? But obviously
it's heading there. Everyone fucking knows each other around here.
Innit? I just feel like obviously we've chilled a lot in a short space of time.
Yeah, definitely.
So obviously it feels like I've known you for way longer than what it actually is. You get me?
I think probably. Do you reckon lockdowns played a part in that?
Yeah. Definitely.
Because no one's doing anything.
Definitely,
so we're always seeing each other.
Definitely, bro. I feel like there's a lot of people that I know now, or certain situations are the reason they are now because of lockdown. Do you know what I mean? Because of this whole pandemic, and do you know what I mean? It's created sort of.
Do you feel like you've met loads of people over lockdown? I feel it's been the opposite for me. I feel like
I wouldn't say I've met.
I'm used to meeting like new heads all the time. I've not met anyone new in ages. I don't know. It feels like it's not draining, but like it's It's not draining that I haven't met anyone new. Yeah. But at the same time, it's also refreshing to meet new people.
I suppose you know it is for me. Yeah. Like obviously when I came to uni, obviously I came to this area because of uni and that. Yeah. And when I got here, like started uni my first year, I was already 23. So like I was all like, by the time I was in uni, I wasn't really on like the madness as much, you know what I mean?
You'd
like,
already gone through it.
I'd already kind of been through it from where I'm from, innit? So it was one of them ones. When I got to uni, I was a bit older, so like I didn't really meet that many people. Like I met the odd few people because when I first started uni, like we was trying to like jump on the uni life kind of thing. Like we was all kind of on that. Do you know what I mean? I lived with one of my boys called Carter and that, and that's what it was on, do you know what I mean? We was trying to do this party and then I meet loads of people, but it didn't really last that long, do you know what I mean? And then I feel like that was because of the age thing, really, for me.
Halls?
I was in halls for 6 months. Like, basically, when I started uni, first year, we didn't move out. Like, I was travelling from Yard, you get me? So obviously I'm from Bradford, do you know what I mean? So it's like a train, a train to Leeds, it's like 15-20 minutes. And obviously, that's what I was on for the first 6 months from September till December. That's what I was doing, and then ended up moving out. Went to student accommodation. I'm staying there until July, but it was the worst experience. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. Anyone that's been to Leeds Uni, I don't even know if I should joke about that.
What halls was it?
Sugarwell Court.
Sugarwell Court.
It's not. It's literally it's renowned for it. Do you know what I mean? It's horrible.
What was the worst part about it? Was it like the fact that it was just proper trashy and just proper?
Do you know what?
Traffic?
Yeah, like.
Or was it the fact that you were 23 and you were like, well, loads of first year students at 18, aren't they?
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Yeah, like this is what I'm saying. Like with my age and when I came through 23 and that, yeah, like I was like the whole part when you just like a bit messy and that and being just wild and that, like I kind of lived through that, like so when I got there, yeah, and then like the living conditions and that, like what these lot was on, like the kitchen, bro, is the worst thing ever. And you know there were so many times where I'd clean the kitchen, you know what I mean? Obviously the only difference is, yeah, is that we'd listen to tunes a bit loud sometimes here and there, but like I'd always be clean, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and I couldn't deal with that, do you know, like the kitchen, and we had to share a bathroom, do you know what I mean? So it was like, there was 5 man.
Well, I thought halls, everyone had their own.
Nah, this is what I'm saying, this was the bottom end, bro. Like, basically, yeah, we got this accommodation in January, so it wasn't even like the fresh times when everyone's getting
so people had already abused.
Yeah, someone had already lived in these 2 accommodations, yeah. So basically it was me and my boy in it. We wanted to live in the same one, so when we was looking for like a place where we could get 2 of us in. And this is the only place that we found in January where 2 international students had been there until December and then they left. And then we moved in and man, worst experience ever, you know what I mean? Literally, we was hardly there. Like, we was there for like 3 months for a bit because we was trying to force it because it was like, we need to live this life, you know what I mean? But really and truly, it was forced, you know what I mean? For me, it was anyway, but obviously, Kyle's a bit younger than me, do you know what I mean? So, I don't know if it was the same for him, but for me, it was like, just forcing it, do you know what I mean? And then now I've just kind of accepted it, like, do you know what? Like,
it's just part of the lifestyle.
It's just part of the life.
I think that's where I think I got a bit lucky because, obviously, when I moved here when I was 18, I literally, back in Malta, I dropped out of college, so even though I should have been in my first year of uni at 18, I was 2 years behind, really and truly, because I dropped out of college, so I had to do college. But obviously there's no halls for people in college, especially like, even though I'm English, and like, there's no halls for internationals, you know what I mean? And yeah, I bet
that was mad for you, like, you know, like coming from Malta to like going college here, because I know what college is like in the UK, do you know what I mean? So I've been college in the UK,
yeah,
and they're wild. Like colleges in the UK are a bit wild, do you know what I mean?
I think for me the college wasn't even like I didn't think it was that wild.
Don't you think, no?
Nah.
Like college in Bradford, oh my days.
But you know what it is? I was also 18, like these were all 16, so I wasn't really investing my time in anyone in college anyway. So it's not like I was just there, lessons, boom, I'm out, I'm not staying and chilling there. But because there was no like halls or anything, I automatically just had to go into a shared uni house.
Yeah.
So I missed that halls part, and then obviously after I finished college, I've been in these for going on 3 years. So then, like, I know a lot of people, like, I've got mates, like, why am I going to go back into halls? And even though I've been to halls for, like, parties and stuff, and it was fun, I'm kind of glad that I didn't end up doing the whole halls experience.
Do you know what? Like, I feel like, for me, the only reason why it was the way it was, 1, my age, and 2, like, the halls that we was in, it was a horrible halls, you get me? It wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It was.
Whereabouts is Sugarwell? Is it?
Nah, it's in Meanwood.
Mm.
Yeah, that's where it is. And bro, I swear down.
Is that one of the old like proper Victorian buildings?
Bro, listen, I swear down, it was the worst accom ever, bro. Because I've been to other accoms, like I knew people that lived in different accoms.
Is it the one behind Nando's? No.
Nah.
Because they're that's a uni over these accommodation.
Yeah, it was, bro. I swear down. It was just like on a main road, innit? It was on a main road, and then you just go in there, and horrible. And obviously, we ended up getting like a disciplinary from being in that
accommodation.
Yeah. We ended up getting disciplinary because it was madness, innit? Obviously, it was making noise and that. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, we had a few parties, and obviously, people were smoking weed and different things, and you know what I mean. So
did you ever have like the fire alarm go off?
Yeah, obviously, but you know what? Yeah, check the madness. Yeah, so we've been there obviously, and man was smoking or whatever and that, yeah, and we used to have the sock on the fire alarm thing, innit, yeah, and the security guard come to the thing and like they wouldn't even knock, they like bang and open the door and the sock is just hanging on the roof, and man was sat in there, the room's mad smoky and that, so obviously we kind of deserved the disciplinary in it, but straight after that we realised in it was like, you know what, like this is not the one, innit? No. We need to like just get our own house.
Mate, it's so much better like having your own freedom in your own house and not having like
standard 100%.
I remember there was a time in my second year Leeds, fun going to like the whole sock story on the alarm. I was at this bird's accommodation and we'd had the sock on the alarm, like we were chilling, we were watching films, smoking away, and I think we must have gone out and then taken the sock off and then come back in, and then after we come back in we forgot to put the sock back on. And
it's them rookie mistakes, isn't it?
And I remember we were sat in bed, we'd just finished the zoo, I put the zoo out, and as I'm putting the zoo out, I look up and I'm like, oh mate, no sock on the fucking alarm, like don't know how we got away with that. As I said that, the alarm fucking goes off. It won't. Wow. I mean, it won't stop, bro. Everyone on her floor obviously all come out. We were like just in the room biding time, thinking, oh, maybe she's gonna go off, maybe she's gonna go off, maybe it didn't go off. By the time we'd gone downstairs, as we were walking out the room, the guy that was obviously managing the building came in the room because obviously it would have told you where the smoke was coming from. Yeah. Didn't find anything, but fucking looked in the ashtray and found like a roach. I was like, right. Obviously, I wasn't gonna get shit. It wasn't my accommodation, but she was gonna get shit. And we walked downstairs, and I shit you not, there was about 100 people that had all been evacuated from the building. 3 fire engines turned down.
Bro, do you know how many times we did that? Like just from cooking, not even smoking. Do you know what I mean? We was actually pretty on job when it comes to the sock over the fire alarm. We was on that, do you know what I mean? But do you know the amount of times man would burn pizzas in the oven and the fire alarm would go off and everyone would have to come outside, everyone gets evacuated, do you know what I mean? The amount of times we did that, unbelievable, do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why student accoms, they're not the ones, you know what I mean?
Nah.
Especially if you want to like go to uni and you want to just kind of chill and, do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones, innit? Student accom. It's too many rules, you know what I mean? Yeah. There's too many rules.
Mate, we were saying on the first one as well that like, you know, Marsden, I'm pretty sure it would have been around the accommodation as well, but there were like police like going round the accommodation, going through the floors to make sure that people weren't like seeing people in the, like, obviously because of corona and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't mix. That's
bro, I remember.
But police going through the halls to make sure people are staying.
Bro, I remember Marsden. You know Marsden back in the days. This is when uni wasn't even a thing for me. I was like, I don't know how old it was. I think I was like 18. Must have been 18, 19 or whatever. Yeah.
Just come to Leeds from now.
One of my mates had gone to Leeds Beckett back then, and she was living at that Marsden, but it was called Opal back then. And we used to have so many parties back then. Like it was actually madness. Like
it's a mad accommodation.
Yeah, Marsden was like so when we was doing Sugar World Cup, I thought I was in for that. I thought maybe I'm gonna see that, and completely the opposite, the worst experience ever. Do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But maybe that's just because.
I guess it's for some people.
We moved in at the wrong time and that as well.
I think the main purpose of halls is mainly just to get to know people. Especially if you're coming to a new city on your own, the easiest and the quickest way you're going to make mates is being with a fuck ton of other students.
I've not met anyone from halls. I lived at a hall for 6 months and I don't have any friends.
No friends in 6 months?
No friends.
Were they international students or were they all English?
Nah, there was a mixture. Obviously, we made friends. We knew some people. Yeah, do you know what I like? I know one guy. Shout out my guy Brandon. Shout out my guy Brandon from Sugar World Cup. He knows who he is. That's my guy right there. But apart from that, no one else, bro. No one else that I can like shout right now and say, oh yeah, we lived at that accom.
Mate, completely not related to your story, but I just remembered that accommodation that I was staying at when the whole situation with the fire.
Oh yeah.
Bro, that's where I met Joel, like a couple of days before. I guess what the first thing he said to me was, yes bro, do you need a trim? That's how I know him.
Joel loves the trims. Yeah, nah, he's been giving my trims. You know what I mean? Joel's the guy, man.
Trim.
For trims.
Edge by J?
Edges by J. You know what I mean?
That's it.
He's been trimming me for time. I've been getting the trim from Joel like for the longest now. You know what I mean? So
when you say that,
if you need a trim and you're in Leeds, shout my guy Joel.
Years.
What?
That's the first trim you've had about 5 years. So you got the trim because come on, you got to plug Preme Sound now. What were
basically.
You doing in Birmingham,
so like last week so let's chat about the trim. The reason why I haven't had a trim since September last year. September the 8th. That's the last time I had a trim.
That's my mate. September the 8th is to anyone that's Maltese watching out there. That's my local feast like from where my ends are.
Is it? Yeah. yeah. Well, September the 8th. That is the last time I had a haircut, and I got it from Joel. And obviously, the reason why I stopped doing haircuts, I was just like, do you know what? We're in this lockdown now. We can't go on a night out. We can't do shit. You know what I mean? So I thought, why am I getting a trim? For who? For what? Do you know what I mean? I don't need a trim at all. So why am I stressing myself and thinking every 2 weeks I need a trim? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of my hair because for all these years I've been living, I've not really ever taken care of my hair. I've just always just washed it, shampoo, just thrown it. Just, you know what I mean? And not really cared. But since then, I've been conditioning my hair. You know what I mean? Patterning my hair, you know what I mean? Hair food, all of that. Been just looking after my hair now, growing it, you know what I mean? And then obviously, last week we was filming a video in Birmingham for one of the tunes that's coming out soon. And
what's it called?
It's called Feed a La Bar. You know what I mean?
It's a tune, by the way. I can't.
If you're wondering what Feed a La Bar means, you will find out. Do you know what I mean? Don't worry, it's a secret. You know what I mean? You will find out. But what do you call it? So I got a trim last week for this music video, you know what I mean? And that was the first time that I trimmed, you know what I mean?
So, let me ask you this. How did you get into music? Like, what was... Because obviously you've been doing music for time. Like, you're 25 now.
Yeah.
And you've been
26 in like, what, two months?
Which, by the way, mate, I still can't believe you're 25, bro. Like, even with the trim, you look young, bro. Like, the first time I remember speaking to you, and I was like, oh, like, how old are you? Like, 25, like, bro, you don't look 25.
Yeah, nah, do you know, I do get that a lot in it. Like, I don't look my age and that in it. But I feel like, do you know what that is? Because in Leeds, when I've come to uni, I've met a lot of like younger people than me. Do you know what I mean? So like majority of like my people that I've known like majority of my life, my mates, like they're all like my age or might be older or whatever. Or, do you know what I mean? We're all kind of similar age. You know what I mean? And that's obviously in Bradford. You know what I mean? But none of these are at uni. You get me? And obviously when I've come here at uni, started uni when first year, majority of the people are like, the majority of them are younger than me, innit? So I've met people like you, Carter, you know what I mean? But what I've done is, in a situation, like I've known, innit, like who's immature and who's mature, you know what I mean? So like if you notice the people who I've actually got close to, they're not, do you know what I mean? Like, they've got a certain, do you know what I mean? They've got a certain mentality, you know what I mean? And the majority of the people are a bit mature, you know what I mean?
I feel as though it's so mad that like you can get people that are 25 and so immature, but then you also get like 18, 19 year olds who are fucking like so screwed on, mate.
Yeah, no, you do, man.
Like people mature like so at so many different levels to each other.
I've definitely clocked that, especially being out of uni, you know what I mean? Like being like in Headingley and that.
I think the main key thing to that is it's just life experience. Like 100%. I've had to grow up because I've fucking flown
100%, yeah. 18. You have to, do you know what I mean? And obviously it's one of them ones, isn't it? Like, yo, everyone grows at their own pace and that, innit? And it's just, it is where it is, isn't it? Like, majority of the people that I've met at uni, majority of them are just younger G's, you know what I mean? But there is the odd few, like 24 and that or whatever, but majority of the people are like 21, 20, 21, roughly. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones that the man are on this young thing, they're still in the field, you get me? They're still in the field, you know what I mean? Heavily and on the pitch, you know what I mean? Playing centre midfield, up front or whatever, do you know what I mean? They're there, you get me?
Right, so your music, how did you start? Like, what was the first moment that you can remember when you decided, you know what, mate,
Bro, do you know what, like, I've wrote bars. I remember, like, I used to listen to, like, I grew up in a time, obviously I'm 25, you know what I mean? So I grew up in a time when I was like 14, 13 and that, I was listening to Skepta, Wiley, Dizzy Rascal, and Crazy Titch. All of these ones. That's who like I mainly grew up listening to. Do you know what I mean? When I was younger and that. And I remember just being on grime, and we used to write like grime bars and that. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I never at the time when I was doing this, I never thought about
career-wise.
I'm ever gonna take music serious. Do you know what I mean? I was just writing bars, and it was all because we was listening to music and was proper fucking with it and thinking it was sick and was like, yo, I want to do that, and then just writing bars. I swear, like pretty much all my mates had bars. Everyone had bars. You know what I mean? Because we'd put a beat on and then man would be just spitting bars and that. You know what I mean? So, and then as I got older and that, yeah, and started getting better at writing. Do you know what I mean? So like, it wasn't just, oh, yo, that's sick. It was more like, yo, bro, you're really good at this music thing. Like, you need to like take it serious. You know what I mean? And it was genuinely that for a good, until I was like 21. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It's like, weird because I feel as though you're probably the same as me. Like, I'm my harshest critic.
Yeah.
So I'm presuming as well, if it was for you, like for me, the way I see my podcast, like I've known I've wanted to do it for time, but I've not had like, I've never thought I was like actually have the thing for it. Was it similar for you?
Yeah, do you know what? I don't know, man. Like, it was more like, it was like an inner fear, you get me? Like, I didn't think about how shook I was, but I was like, I've always been worried, like, about what people think, do you know what I mean? Obviously, I can't help it, and I know it's bad, do you know what I mean? Like, having that kind of anxiety, thinking like, oh, yeah, you're worried about what people think.
A lot of people have that, though.
But I've got that there, do you know what I mean? Like, yo, man had that there, and obviously, when you're young and that, and you're writing bars, and the only reason why I kind of carried it out is because of my mates, like, saying, yo, that's sick, like, definitely do it. It wasn't because I rated myself and I thought, yeah, I'm really sick at this music thing. Like, people was like, yo, Z, do you know what? You're sick at doing this music thing. And then I started to think, yo, do you know what? Like, maybe I could take this, like, more seriously and, like...
You just lacked that self-inner belief at the beginning.
Yeah. Like, obviously, I was always, like... I don't know how to explain it. Like, I was always kind of like an extrovert kind of person, do you know what I mean? Like, I was always a performer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From young...
Mate, from the time I've known you, mate,
yeah.
You are the life of anywhere you go, bro. Like, every time I'm with you, you ask anyone, Tom and me, and they'll all back it up, like, you just lift up the room. Because you're just like, you just being you, bro.
Yeah, nah, that's what I'm saying. Like, back in the days, like, that's where it was, innit? Like, I've always kind of been known, but, like, it wasn't like... I'd never seen that as, like, something that I could transfer into the music thing and, like, something that I could use as, like, the music thing now. And obviously, and it's something that I've only clocked now recently, do you know what I mean? Like, I've had to go through this whole uni and all these different experiences and that in order for me to like, get to that stage and, like, be like, right, yeah, this music thing. Like, I feel like I've only started to take music seriously in the past, like, couple months, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've only started to be, like, really serious recently, do you know what I mean? And it's took a long time, do you know what I mean?
Why do you think that is?
Maturity, bro. Like, I feel like I've grown up a lot, do you know what I mean, recently. Obviously, I've been living with my gal and that, and do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, in the first year of uni, I was just living with a man, and I was just doing my thing and that, and then obviously after a bit, and then moved in with my gal,
very different settings.
Different settings, you know what I mean? Just kicking back with my gal and that, but obviously, I still doing my thing musically and that, and obviously, it's just changed a lot of things because obviously, when you got a gal, there's certain things just stop in it. Like, it just does in it. Like, it's just one of them ones in it. Like, so, and in a sense, I look at that as a blessing. Do you get me? Like, because I see it as like, you know what? Like, I take it on board because I think, you know what? In a sense, this is making me better as a person. Do you know what I mean? So I've just been kind of on that. So this is why the music thing, I've took it more serious. I feel like I've been more to like be in the moment and be like, yo, this is what I need to do now. And this is a focus that I need to do. Forget anything else. Forget chasing, because either way, if I'm doing all that, it's just going to come with a headache anyway. So just concentrate on music and just do your thing, and do you know what I mean? And just grow in your music thing and grow with your gal and grow within yourself, you know what I mean? And take it as it comes, you get me? And that's what that's why I feel like I'm taking music seriously now, do you know what I mean?
So, obviously, your last solo piece of music that you released was The Truth, freestyle. Pretty deep song for you. You talk about your mum. Do you want to speak about where you came from and how your life was like being brought up in obviously Zimbabwe and then coming to Leeds? Well,
yeah. So basically, I was born in Zim in Africa, Zimbabwe, and came here 2003, 2004. These times I was like 6 years old or 7. Pretty young, do you know what I mean? So.
Do you remember Zimbabwe?
Yeah, do you know what? I actually had like a bit of a life there, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, because I went to school and that there, like young nursery thing and that, and I did all of that creche. Do you know what I mean? I was there.
What do they speak?
Ndebele. It's like Zulu. It's like South African. It's South African.
Can you speak it?
Yeah, well, I can speak it, but not
with me and Maltese, I can understand it more than I can speak it.
I can speak my language, but like it's just like certain things are a bit difficult, like like spelling certain words and that. Do you know what I mean? It's because obviously I haven't been there for so long. Do you know what I mean? Like
you haven't been involved with the language.
Yeah, I've not really been that involved. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, I can speak my language. Do you know what I mean? Like fully, like I can have a conversation in my language. You get me? 100%. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that I'll never leave. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. But yeah, I was born there. I came here like 03, 04 and was here for about a year with my Marge. And boom, basically. So basically I was born in 95, was there, and obviously my mum came here. She was doing her uni thing and that, and then we came here in 04. And then, so obviously I was only with my mum for like 5 years or whatever in Zim, 4 years or whatever. And then she came here for like 3 years, 2 years or whatever.
Get her education.
And then do her thing and then boom. And then when we came in, and I was with her for a year. And then obviously a mad thing happened with my mum, and obviously she passed away, rest in peace, you know what I mean? And obviously, and then after that, my uncle came from Birmingham. He moved out from Birmingham because he was doing his thing in Birmingham, but he had to lock that off and came here, looked after me, my brother, my sister, and that, and yeah, and then moved about a few areas in Bradford. You know what I mean? There's a lot that happened in between. That I'm kind of just like wrapping it all up in it. I don't want to go too extra. Like I'm just trying to wrap it all up, wrap it in it. Like, but there was bare shit in it. Like I've been through kind of like a lot of moving about houses and that, do you know what I mean? Because first we was living in a certain house, and then my mum moved us out. We went to Clare, and then obviously the madness happened with my marriage, and we moved to another area then, and then I was there for a bit, and then I was there for a bit, and then I moved out to my other cousins, stayed there for a bit, and then boom. After that, I ended up being at uni, and then. Do you know what I mean? That's basically the journey, and now I'm here. Do you get me? And now I'm here in this situation. But yeah, now man, like there's growing up for me. I feel like it was weird. Do you get me? Like growing up for me is like it's weird because like, do you know for me? Yeah, like I didn't. Do you know when everyone always chat about Lion King and how it's like a proper big film for them, like it's a proper mad film for them and that. Like I've never really seen that film. Like I've seen that film, like bits when I've been older, when people have been watching it, like, oh, this is a proper mad film and that. But like
you missed out on like
I missed out on certain
like upbringing.
Yeah, like that typical kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like there's certain things that I kind of missed out on, and I only clock it now. I've got older. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I see it now. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, growing up was kind of like. I was never in the moment, do you know what I mean? There's never been a time when I've ever been in the moment, do you know what I mean? I've ever been able to hold on to something and took it all the way through my childhood to my age now, do you know what I mean? Anything that's ever been there is kind of like been there and gone, been there, gone, been there, gone, been there, gone, do you know what I mean? It's kind of been like a rocky
upbringing.
A rocky upbringing, but I've had a lot of like support from family in it. I can say like support, do you know what I mean? Like I've always like my family have always been there in it. Like I've always been able to like just can't really say it or speak to my family, but I've always been able to just go yard. You know what I mean? I've always been able to go home and just stay at yard in it. Like that's always been there. Do you get me? So
how do you think? Do you like is music a therapy for you when you write your music?
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Yeah. I don't even know what it's like. what is a therapy? Do you know what it's got? Like, I've only just started, like, recently, yeah, because, like, before, I used to try to write lyrics about, like, my parents and that and stuff like that, and I couldn't write it because I felt awkward to write certain lyrics, you know what I mean? I felt proper mad awkward and that.
Probably, do you reckon it was because you were still processing it?
Yeah, well, I feel like there's everything that's happened in my life, I feel like I haven't even processed it. Like, I am the living proof of somebody that has not processed anything and that is living life ignoring everything. Not necessarily ignoring everything, but like
avoiding.
not facing things, you know what I mean? Like, and I've only just started like lyrically speaking about certain things, you know what I mean? And even then it's not for like I'm telling everyone.
Oh, no, but it's for you.
Do you get me? And like I'm just saying certain things. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like I've never had that. I didn't go through therapy for things that I've gone through, so I've never got used to doing that. So I can't say music is, to answer your question. Do you know what I mean? I can't say music is completely my therapy because I've not always gone to music in order to speak about stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like I've always spoke. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't really say it. I can't just put it on music to say like, yeah,
no,
that is.
You can't just put it down.
Do you know what I mean? Because I haven't used it yet. I've only just recently started speaking about my story in music, and a lot of people are taking on board, and and a lot of people have been messaging me saying, yo, that they resonate with that, and like they've been through things with their family and stuff like that, and they can relate in certain ways. You know what I mean? And obviously, I thought like, yo, this music thing can help, do you know what I mean? In a sense. And if me rapping about my things, like what's happened, helps someone else, and if that is, and it makes me feel good, if that means that's therapy, then yeah, music is kind of like a therapy then, do you know what I mean? Because I'm happy that I can chat about things and people can relate to it, do you know what I mean? And be like, yo, shit, yeah, like someone else is going through it, and just kind of like, because the way I'm spitting my music, I'm kind of trying to be strong about it, do you know what I mean?
Man, I've got a lot of props for you because obviously, you remember when there was a motive in here and it was me, you and Owen in my room.
Oh yeah.
And mate, like, for you to just still be here, like so strong, still like thriving doing your music thing. Like I know it's probably not going to mean a lot to you, me saying it, but it is so inspiring, just even as a mate, bro, because. Like what you've gone through must still be so difficult for you to deal with, and the fact that even though you're saying that you're not really facing it, at the same time, not from an outside, from what I know from you, I know that you've done so well to get to where you are from here. So you do deserve like a massive fucking tap on the shoulder, bro.
Yeah,
it's not easy, bro. It's really not.
Yeah, like just to like obviously shed more clarity on it. Like the reason why I feel like why I've not really faced a lot yet is because a lot of things that's happened to me, like a lot of trauma and stuff like that, I've kind of been through, and that was like when I was mad young. Do you know what I mean? Like I was really young. Do you know what I mean? So I was like 8, and obviously I didn't really get to like take it in and know what's actually going on. And I haven't really.
And events like that definitely like changed the human like
and I haven't really like, and you got to think like really madness, like my mum got murdered on Christmas Day, like important day, do you know what I mean? And it was like a madness, do you know what I mean? Like a whole madness was going on around me, and in all that time I have never been sat down by anyone and said, yo, listen, this is what's gone on, and boom 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 boom. And so like I've never like yeah, it's happened, but like it's never been real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's always been weird. Like it's always happened, but it's never been like actually real. Do you know what I mean? And for my brother and that, my brother who was older than me. Do you know what I mean? Like the evidence of like the effects of it is like more evident. Do you get me? Like you can see it. Like yo, he was older than me. He was like 16 when all certain things happened. Do you know what I mean? When my Margie passed away and that, so. You can see it, do you know what I mean? Like the effects of it are there, do you know what I mean? But with me, I don't want to like say, oh, I'm just mad ignorant and that, but I feel like it's just because I was mad young, I didn't get to, do you know what I mean, process it as somebody that was like more aware of things, do you know what I mean? Like, I can't even really remember like I couldn't tell you like my mum's favourite food. Do you know what I mean? Like it's one of them ones. You know what I mean? It's like the little things that, like, even though I don't know that, I feel like that's what helps me. Like that's what helps me like be this way. Even though it's not help, because at the end of the day, all it means is that I'm ignoring it. Do you know what I mean? It's because like I've never actually sat down with like any of my parents, like siblings or anything, and asked them about my mum because I'm scared in a sense. Like I'm scared for them to tell me so much because I've got glimpses in my head and I just know my mum was sick. You know what I mean? Like I just know she was sick, and more time she was just like me. Do you know what I mean? Like because I'm a confident person and I just know it comes from her. Do you know what I mean? And obviously I'm scared to hear a lot of things because it's just going to make me just wish I had it so much. It's just going to bring it back. And obviously it's one of them things, you know what I mean? But
I do think that the like I said, the truth that you made, and the fact that you said you had people reach out is just more evidence to show that like I think obviously it's up to you at the end of the day, but I do think being open and even just speaking about it like this on the podcast, mate, like a lot of people will realise that life's fucking shit sometimes.
Yeah, nah, life is, bro, do you know what I mean? Like, but obviously this is what I'm saying, like I don't want to tell everyone that, oh yeah, it's all calm, you're going to be all sound and that, do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, sometimes you're not going to be sound, do you know what I mean? But like, it's just one of them ones that, life can actually get you get me? So
and literally at any time.
At any time, so I just take the time now to stay in the moment and appreciate, you get me? Like, you're sane and you haven't been through certain things, like appreciate what you got right now and that, do you know what I mean?
And I think
sounds a bit cliche when people say, oh yeah, appreciate what you got, because everyone always says it, but like your fam, like really actually appreciate what you have right now, because it's some serious stuff, do you know what I mean?
And I think this past year has definitely made a lot more people realise that, because a lot of people, me included, like you're stuck in with nothing to do, you fucking, everyone's in their own heads. Everyone's thinking about a lot of stuff, and so like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But I think a lot of people have realised, like I've definitely realised, that you should appreciate the little things so much more. And I think even I don't know about anyone else that has ever moved country abroad, but I think for me, being away from my family and knowing I can only see him a couple of times a year definitely makes me appreciate it. Because like you said, in the moment, you just don't think.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Because obviously you got to think that everyone's fighting their own battles as well. Like obviously, like I can advise people. Yeah, I can advise people and say, oh, think about things in a certain way or whatever. Think about things in a certain way. But like, real and truly, like I'm not going through certain people's situations. You know what I mean? People go through their own like situations, and that's a battle within itself. Do you know what I mean? The only thing is like. And everyone's fighting a battle, do you know what I mean? So you gotta think, you be careful, do you know what I mean? In this life, like, be careful, do you know what I mean? Don't ever get caught up in don't get caught up in this, like, ignoring things, do you know what I mean? Like, and just looking at things that don't really matter, do you know what I mean? Like, pay attention to the things that really do matter, do you know what I mean? Like, your family and that, and, do you know what I mean? Things that actually matter, because when they're gone, when they're not there,
when you realise.
That's when you realise, and you don't ever want to. Do you know what I mean?
You don't want to leave it too late, for sure.
Do you know what I mean? And I feel like I've been putting everyone's life really kind of to like explain that. Do you know what I mean? Tell everyone that, because that's what I always do. I always tell people that. Do you know what I mean?
You told me the reason why I met you is for me to appreciate my mum more. And I definitely think you probably have, bro. I can't lie.
Yeah,
you definitely have.
Yeah, I always say that to my man.
Because thing as well, I think that one of the maddest things that I appreciate in knowing you as well is, where I grew up, like, none of that stuff, like, happens, really.
Yeah.
Like, growing up in Bradford, from what you told me and from what you hear, like, Bradford isn't an easy place to grow up in.
Nice.
And for me to come to a place like these, which is so multicultural, like, Malta... It's got its own. It's like very subliminally racist, to be honest. There's a lot of racism in the country, and because of that, like where I grew up, like I literally grew up in a white neighbourhood, like literally didn't see any white. So coming here and meeting people from different backgrounds, different cultures, and mate, it's so eye-opening as well to the problems that we have in this country, that people just brush under the carpet because they don't see it, they don't think it's a problem. And the worst thing about it is you'll get people that, because they won't see it, they won't even accept that it's real.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up thing. People won't accept that there are problems in bad, like, low-income areas that are literally put in there from systems where the area's not meant to get any better.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Do you know what, like, especially in, like, I don't know, like, you it's like, I don't know, it's like, racism is mad, innit? Because that's where a lot of it stems from, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all just kind of like racism, do you get me? Like, especially
do you think racism is just ingrained in our DNA just from tribal? Because tribes, any tribes back in the day, they were all fighting for their own survival. And we know, obviously, it is a long time ago. But
like, we're, as humans, we're blessed with empathy and blessed with all these other senses. Like, oh yeah, you're meant to feel like someone else's pain. You're meant to care, do you know what I mean, about someone else feeling pain. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, fair enough. And you've got the ability to think ahead, like to think like the consequences about, like, because majority of animals, you got what I mean, if you get into the scientific side of things, yeah, like, animals don't think ahead, do you know what I mean, they just act on instinct, do you know what I mean? So, okay, animals act on pride, they do pride stuff and we are humans because we don't think like that, we don't think like animals.
No,
do you know what I mean? So different. Caging other human beings and doing certain things that's happened because of racism, that is animalistic behaviour, do you know what I mean? And we're not like your everyday animal, do you know what I mean? So technically, I don't believe that we can just completely narrow it down to, like, kind of just like, oh yeah, it's come from tribalism. I just think it comes from complete greed. I think it comes from pure greed and just power, do you know what I mean? Just wanting to be more, having more power, do you know what I mean? And wanting to take from other people, do you know what I mean? It's just a horrible thing, do you know what I mean? Because why does it actually exist even now?
It shouldn't. There's literally no reason for it to exist. Do you know what I mean?
And it's proper live, even now.
But the problem is, it's because you still have people in, like you said, in high positions of power who still fucking, like, look at Donald Trump. Anytime he speaks, he's indirectly inciting hate on different religions and different races.
Definitely, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it's all... But then this is what I mean, like, we're living in a world where it's like they need someone to be poor in order for someone to be rich.
Yeah.
Like, we all benefit from this. Like, the fact that we live in this world, that we can buy these clothes and live nice, I believe it's all at the expense of people being poor. Do you know what I mean? I believe that really and truly, like, yeah, we can say, oh yeah, these people, but we're all actually living it. Because end of the day, in order for us to live like this comfortable life, it means other people have to be poor, do you know what I mean? There's no balance there, do you know what I mean?
It's crazy, I think...
I mean, it goes proper deep, do you know what I mean? It goes deep. This whole thing goes proper deep. It's the whole concepts that were set up from time ago, do you know what I mean? These capitalist things and that, do you know what I mean? They're just...
systems set in place that can't be changed, literally can't be changed.
Do you know what I mean?
The system, what's the word? Systematic?
Yeah, systematic.
Systematic, that's the word.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit too glazed.
Nah, but definitely though, man, like, racism is like, I feel like now...
Like the whole Windrush scandal.
Yeah, like, I feel like racism now, it's not as much as in, like, as, like, your individuals. Like, I feel like a majority of the people that I'll go speak to now, like, they're not racist, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's like a, it's more of a cultural thing. I don't think, like, racism
is a societal problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's a societal thing. I think it's just more like a systematical thing now, because of how systems were set before are still like that now, and they've not been changed to suit the fact that the world is really multicultural now. Like, we all appreciate all kinds of different things. There's social media and that, like, you get to see it now, and you get to, like, have your own opinion on it.
You
like,
get cancelled now.
Do you know what I mean? You get cancelled and stuff like that now. So I feel like, yeah, like, systems need to change, innit? Do you know what I mean? But it's like, how much are people ready? Like, how much are you ready to give up everything? Like, how much? Because believe me,
no one's willing to do that.
Nobody's willing to do that. How much are you willing to give up everything just to make sure everybody else, so everyone in the world is sound? Do you know what I mean? How much are we all willing to give up? Do you know what I mean? Because it's all good saying, oh yeah.
Can you imagine?
You know what I mean?
I reckon imagine if you were required to take a 1 week holiday to one of the poorest parts of Africa, like, everyone would have to do that. Like, you'd come back changed. You'd come back thinking, like, fuck me, like, what is actually going on? Because Africa has literally been raped of all of their resources, and they've literally had nothing for it.
Innit? It's all mad, innit? Because you got to think, Africa, technically in resources, in natural resources. It is
the biggest continent, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. In natural resources, it's got the most natural resources, you know what I mean? Africa, but somehow it's the poorest.
It's fucked. Doesn't make any sense. You've seen Lethal Bizzle's doing, I think he's like set up a massive block of building apartments in Ghana.
Yeah.
I think it is. And then you got Akon, who's creating his own city somewhere.
This is what I mean. So like, there's people trying to push and that, but like, it's a long way in it. We've got a long way in it. We've got a long way in it.
Generations to go.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really know too much on that there. Do you know what I mean? I don't really know too much on that right there. Like, what's actually going on with stuff like that. But what I can say is definitely there's shit like racism, shit that is like stuck from time ago. That is affecting bare things now, especially like.
The crazy thing as well is you still get slavery. You know, there's still slavery in Libya.
Bro, there's still mad stuff going on right now, man. It's like, you got to think, especially with with the whole, like, I've got to say this, like, it's like with the whole drill thing, do you know what I mean? Like, with the whole drill situation, you got to think, drill is from Chicago, this is where it comes from, and if you look at documentaries, it's all available, it's all there on the net, you can go check it out, and you see what the systematic and the divide and do you know what I mean, the division that they create for black people in America there, and they put them in these tight knit areas where there was like so many poor people concentrated in one place. Like, it's just a breeding ground for crime, do you know what I mean? Breeding ground for madness, you know what I mean?
And it's put there for that purpose.
And it's put there, left there, divided to, do you know what I mean? Keep them there, and boom, all these things happened. Drill music came out, and boom, 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 do you know what I mean? And then now, influence youths in different countries where there's poor youths in over here where they've cut youth services. They've cut youth services, or poor areas, they don't have no, kids are on the street, they're not doing no, all they've got is YouTube and tunes and influence. That's all they've got. That's the only influence they've got, is a YouTube and whatever they can string up. Do you know what I mean? Whatever they can do, that's all they've got. And do you know what I mean? And then they blame they be like, oh yeah, drill music is this and that. Like, no one's saying, oh yeah, drill music doesn't influence youth. It probably does, you know what I mean? But that's not the cause, you know what I mean?
It's also, you can't take it away from them, because they're rapping about a harsh reality that exists in our society.
This is what I'm saying.
It's literally how NWA started.
I feel like that's what systematic racism is today, do you know what I mean? Stuff like that, do you know what I mean? Because they want people to blame drill, do you know what I mean?
It's an easier
route, do you know what I mean? It's an easier route than actually getting in there and actually sorting out the real issue, do you know what I mean? You know, because nobody's saying like, yo, lyrics are not getting mad, and kids are listening to mad lyrics and stuff like that. But okay, say if that is the truth, but can we not sort out the actual problem? Not instead of masking it by saying, oh yeah, turn that off, or let's sort out the actual problem, do you know what I mean?
Right, so apologies if the video cut out, the camera died.
Yeah.
We move again. So we were talking about...
We move.
We were talking about drill. I've got to make problems, bro. If I don't make mistakes, I'm not learning. But we're all about drill. Take it off. You take it away.
Yeah, so obviously it's like a hot topic at the moment, do you know what I mean? Like everyone's chatting about it and I like personally, yeah, like I agree, you know what I mean? Like yo, yeah, it is getting a bit mad, you know what I mean? But that's because the streets are getting mad. That's the only reason. That's why it's getting mad. That's the reality of it. It's just magnifying it, innit? Like you're hearing about it more now. You can find out more. Like you've got more chance to find out because your social media, YouTube, and all these things. It's letting you know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? So,
do you think that rappers that have got like a high profile when they've got millions of people listening to them, do you think they obviously at the end of the day, people can say whatever the fuck they want. No one actually has a right to say anything. I think you've got it, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, people have the right to say whatever they want and rap about whatever they want. But do you feel like they have a responsibility when it comes to a certain fame, and when it comes to a certain, like when you've got millions of people listening to you, do you think it should be morally right to be rapping about like getting out of it and not encouraging it and not glorifying it? Yeah. Or like, do you think that there's obviously this, like I said, they still have every right to rap about it?
Yeah, I think rappers should. I think rappers obviously should obviously say while going and that, and obviously they should actually take on the responsibility. But I don't speak. I don't hate on it if you don't. You know what I mean? I'm not one of them ones where I'm going to be like, oh, he doesn't say that, so nah, he should be saying this, do you know what I mean? I'm more like, yeah, if you don't want to, you don't want to, do you know what I mean? Because I know, really and truly, it's not up to them for things to change, you know what I mean?
No.
It's up to the govs, it's up to the government and the people that are in charge of...
Fix the mess.
Do you know what I mean? They're meant to fix the mess that what's been created from all these systematic things that's been sold, do you know what I mean? So...
And that's the thing, being systematic, it's literally doesn't matter what party. Both parties are both to blame for it, because neither party have done anything to improve on the situation. I don't know if you'll know this, but I swear it took them like at least 2-3 years to rehouse everyone that was in Grenfell.
Well, there's people now that still ain't even been rehoused, bro. Do you know what I mean?
And obviously the inquiry's never going to get into anywhere. No one's going to go prison for it.
No one's going to go to jail for that. Why is anyone going to go to jail for that? Because at the end of the day, they've got to blame. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of them ones. The people from Grenfell, yeah, they're just people that they don't care about, innit? They just don't care about them. Do you know what I mean?
Genuinely, and it's living proof of they don't give a shit. And I can imagine there are still probably hundreds of council blocks out there that probably still have the same type of cladding.
Yeah, definitely, bro. There'll be thousands, there'll be loads, you know what I mean? But it's just obviously because nothing's happened yet, we don't know. But something probably will happen, and then...
It's crazy. It's the fact that it takes that long just to rehouse someone. Like, especially when they've gone through that much, you'd think that they'd be like a priority.
Definitely. I just think like obviously with this whole systematic thing, do you know what I mean? It's like it definitely needs sorting out, do you know what I mean? Because like people just being racist don't really have that much power anymore, do you know what I mean? Because majority now, like I grew up with some of my best friends was white, do you know what I mean? So I don't feel like it's like an individual person, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, that person's racist or it's more like a systematic thing where certain things are happening and it's just being left. Do you know what I mean? It's not being getting dealt with, do you know what I mean? Like nothing's getting dealt with. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think it's getting worse?
I feel like it's getting more evident.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always been
all
bad.
The problems are being highlighted a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it's just more evident now. Do you know what I mean? Just like the whole when we're chatting about drill, do you know what I mean? Like these problems have been about, do you know what I mean? These things have been happening. But
the first people
you
to
just
do that
know
was
about it.
NWA.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you just know about it.
It was literally the same thing.
Same thing. They were trying to lock off the music.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, it's gangster rap.
They try to lock off the music. They did the same thing with grime. You get me? It's all.
It's just gonna be the next thing. Will have the same shit that we thrown at it. But it's crazy. Have you seen this weekend? UFC. It's not. I was going to say Tyron Woodley. It's not Tyron Woodley. It's Usman fighting Burns for the welterweight belt.
Usman. I say he's the one that just fought Covington.
Yeah, he fought. Yeah, so he fought Covington. I
seen that fight still. Yo, do you know
Mate,
what?
That was a sick fight. Bro.
Yo, Covington, like he did all right.
Bang.
Yeah, he did all right for the first bit of the fight. I feel like he did all right.
The official scorecards going.
So the guy just kept on. Usman just kept on eating his back, eating him.
The best thing about that fight is they're both wrestlers and they both just stood there fucking throwing punches and kicks, mate. And Covington fought from round 2 to end of round 2 to end of round 5 with a broken jaw. Broken jaw.
Blammed in his mouth.
Kept on going, bro. It's kept on walking forward. But I think the official scorecards, because he got a round back.
What else can you do in that situation, boy? Can't just allow
it. But do you know what it is? Obviously he's going to feel it, because as soon as he got back to the corner, he said, "Oh, I broke my jaw." But I think, he knew.
Took out blam to his mouth.
It's obviously going to sound weird me saying this, but I feel as though a lot of fighters, like, when you're fighting and you've got that much adrenaline running through you, the pain isn't anywhere near as bad as it actually is.
Yeah, you don't feel it. Like, if you've ever been in a fight, anyone that's ever been in a fight, mate, they can tell you, bro. Like, when someone punches you in the face when you're in a fight and you're fighting and they connect, you don't really feel it. You don't feel it. You're not like, ouch. It doesn't hurt like that.
That's why people say, like, when you're training, like, oh, what, like, you're not afraid of, like, fucking boxing or anything. No.
It doesn't really hurt.
It's not like that. You're just so pumped up that you don't even, it's not registering because you're not focusing on it.
Or I think your pain receptors as a human just turn off and you're more like in like survival mode, you know, like your body's bare blood's running through your body and that you just...
Who do you think's going to win then? Keep going and say Woodley, it's Usman or Burns. You know their teammates?
I don't know who Burns is.
Burns is unbelievable, undefeated at welterweight.
I can't really, because I haven't really seen him fight.
Mate, he just beat Tyron Woodley and got the judge's scorecard was 50-45. Won every single round against Tyron Woodley. Smashed him.
I swear Tyron Woodley's knocking on to. How old Tyron Woodley now?
No, but the thing is though, Tyron Woodley was still, like, he was world champion 2 years ago.
He's getting old, man. Let me check now. Tyron Woodley.
What is that?
It's 38.
38, yeah, but he was champion 2 years ago, bro. And he was still smashing people, bro. He knocked out that row. He submitted that until.
But do you know what it is, boy? Do you know what I feel like? Do you know with the fighting sport, yeah? It's like, with a lot of sport, yeah, I feel like on the day, it's the mentality.
Oh, yeah, mate. It's all... I wouldn't say it's all. It's the majority of it.
Yeah, like, a lot of it is mentality. Like, if you turn up on the day and you really want it, and the other person is not up to... You might edge it just because of that. Do you know what I mean? You might edge it because of that.
Most of the time, not all the time.
I feel like with McGregor, that's what it was. With McGregor, his life is based off him mentally beating people. Like his career, I'm telling you now, Dustin Poirier. The first time he beat Dustin Poirier.
No, he was in his head. All in his head.
It's all in the head. Like he didn't. It's not like, oh yeah, he probably. You know what I mean?
Smashing though, bro.
But it hit him in the back of the head.
It wasn't the back of the head. It was a clean shot, legal shot.
Bro, it was in the back of the head. I know it was in the back of the head. Shot. Everybody's seen it.
No one said it was an illegal shot. Find one person that's calling for that to be an illegal shot.
Yeah, well, they can say all the one ball. It bounces off the back of the head. I've seen the replays. It bounced. He punches him in the back of the head. And
anyway,
either way,
it doesn't even matter because McGregor got banged in his last fight, and I was sat here talking. Oh yeah. McGregor, mate, I can't see Poirier coming out. The first shot with McGregor.
Because you know why?
She shook on camera that if McGregor won, I'd give Josh 20 quid and I fucking lost.
He took 2 minute losses, and do you know that fight with Khabib? Obviously, it sounds a bit mad just like saying it, because everyone is saying it. But bro, he give it way too much to lose that fight. Like he gives so much, so much shit. Like it was almost like nobody even believed that it was gonna win. Like it was almost like not everyone even was like it's not everyone was like, oh yeah, Conor McGregor's definitely gonna win because of what it was. It wasn't like a definite. Whereas before it was like, yo, Martin probably gonna win, you know. Like when he was going up everyone else, like he had the upper hand, but whereas with Khabib, it was like it wasn't really working. Do you know what I mean? And everyone kind of knew it. Do you know what I mean? And on top of that, he lost, and the way he lost as well, it was just like,
mate, that fight, he just took it. I think he took it too far with the trash talking.
Yeah,
very
man.
Disrespectful to a lot of religion. But then he, like that was his own downfall. Really,
you know what I mean?
He
That's
got
what I'm
too
saying.
involved. He got too involved. You can mate, he was definitely sniffing coke. That fight.
But you know what? Like, they say that. You know what I mean? But either way, bro, like sniffing coke or not, mate. Like, you came that day, and mate, like, yeah, you was giving it. Like, I've seen the fight, and Conor McGregor was doing fighting. He was doing well in the fight. Do you know what I mean? He was doing well in the fight, but then, mentality wise, Khabib is walking with God and all these different things. You know what I mean? You can't beat them guys.
I think Khabib was beatable. The right
guy. Because do you know why? Yeah, his mentality is different. Whether if you believe in religion or whatever, God or not, or whatever you're on, he's on that. Do you know what I mean? He's on that.
Definitely a special fight. But do you know what pisses me off though? Like, he talks about the GOAT and shit. Like, you can't put Khabib in that category just because he's had 3 title defenses. No fucking way. Anderson Silva, John Jones, GSP, they're all before him for the simple reason that they were active. I can appreciate that Khabib's undefeated, and it's difficult to get undefeated in MMA, especially as a pro career. You don't really see it.
But look at the way he's been undefeated dominantly. Look at his defeat. Look at his defense against Justin Gaethje. Yeah, his last fight.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, he smashed Gaethje, bro.
Like, bro, that was just such a bullying thing. Like,
we were watching it together. I was talking all the big licks, saying that Khabib's gonna get beaten. And we were watching it with Z, and I just went fucking silent, bro. I was so quiet. Couldn't believe how easy it was.
That's what I'm saying. And it was like, wow, the way he was doing it that easy. Look at what he did to that, wasn't it, Tony Ferguson?
He didn't fight Tony Ferguson, lad.
Justin
Gaethje.
Yeah, that's what. Look what he did to Tony Ferguson, and then Khabib.
But then again,
this is what I'm saying on the day. But what you gotta think is, Khabib is a religious guy. He's a religious guy, and his mentality is an everyday thing. It's his life. It's his way of life, and it's part of his fighting thing, and his fighting thing. It's his religion thing. It's his like Allah is with me. Do you get me? And he genuinely is with him, bro. Like, serious talk. Like, I'm not even like mocking it. Like, genuine talk. Like, he's genuinely.
Do you think he's gonna fight again? He definitely will fight again.
Bro, but this is what I'm saying. Dude. Like, it's one of them ones. Like, things like this. It's bigger than that. When it's religion and it's like that, it's bigger than that. Do you get me?
The way Dana White put it, he's like, mate, Khabib is a serious like. He loves competition, always training, and he wanted to get to 30-0. There's no way he's gone all this way, and then he just wants to just hang it all up at 29-0. Plus,
it's like, the religion thing and that, like, bro, my man's serious.
And he said that he's not going to be holding up the lightweight division, but then the UFC still haven't stripped him. I think there's a chance that, obviously, Poirier versus McGregor 3, that's probably going to be for the belt. That's what I think.
Right. But like, do you know what, with McGregor now?
Do you think he gets beat by Poirier again? It's going to be a difficult fight.
Do you know what? I feel like he probably, even if he wins, like, his win won't be as like, McGregor's like, yeah.
He'd have to smash him.
Like, he'd have to get
a second round knockout minimum.
And I don't even know, bro, because it's like, McGregor he couldn't lose any fights now. He wasn't.
If he loses one more, he's done. There's no way,
bro.
But I do think that the way the UFC is, and like
can't lose fights, you know.
But the safety net for promoting that fight is it's 1-1.
Boy, he's took an L.
Like, he's taken an L definitely, and he's not going to be the favourite going into the fight. However,
3 L's. Like, I've seen 3 L's. What is it? Was it one with
Nate Diaz. Then it was Khabib, and now Poirier. Come on, bro. All 3 of those are killers, though.
Yeah, some big fights. You know
all 3 of those are killers. It's like, I mean, he did well against Poirier in the last fight. He had a good round. The reason why ended up fucking himself over is because he was thinking he was the one that lost in that fight. He was thinking about fighting Pacquiao, so he was only boxing, and then fucking he comes into an MMA fight and just gets his leg chopped up.
Yeah, maybe McGregor's still there, but like we've got to take him away from that GOAT status.
Oh, for sure. No way you can put him as the greatest.
Yeah, he's not there. He's not there at GOAT status now because
the only thing you can give him the GOAT status.
He made everyone watch UFC. Like I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even. UFC wasn't even a thing until he came. Until he came, McGregor has, for me as someone, you know what I mean, watching UFC now, it's all because of McGregor, bro. Like before McGregor was there, I didn't watch it. Do you know what I mean? I knew about some UFC fighters like Rampage Jackson and
see, I don't remember any of that time. I literally don't remember Rampage fighting. That's all.
You remember Rampage Jackson?
Not my generation.
Bro, Rampage Jackson was the guy, bro.
First time I seen Rampage Jackson was on the A-Team.
Yeah. Nah, I saw he was a wrestler as well, innit?
No, he was an MMA fighter.
Purely?
Yeah, UFC.
Just purely?
I think it was...
Did he not ever do wrestling? I saw he did wrestling.
Nah, I don't think he did wrestling, bro. He was a striker.
Oh, is it, yeah?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, I'm just trying to think now. I don't know if I'm going to clock up on camera. I'll check, but I think he might have even been champion.
Yeah, nah, but UFC I remember Rampage Jackson. I remember
he had sick fights with Rashad Evans and John Jones.
Yeah. So I'm saying there was all the Shogun Rua. These times there was all these.
Mate.
Shogun Rua.
Imagine John Jones fighting Shogun Rua for the title.
Yeah.
John Jones' first ever title fight at 21 or 20, I think he was 22 years old.
What was that other guy? Frank Mir. Some scrappers, bro. There was some serious guys back in the days. Chuck Liddell, was it?
Yeah.
Liddell. Was it Chuck? Was it Chuck
Liddell?
Yeah, Chuck Liddell. Bro, he was a scrapper.
What's his name? Mate, he had a proper rivalry with Chuck Liddell. Come on. You know he is. I need to fucking Google it. I'm embarrassing myself on my own. Who do you think
I would, you know, I seen this question on Facebook the other day. I was like, who do you think is the best?
Tito Ortiz, that's it. Go on,
sure
sorry to interrupt you.
Who do you think is the best British boxer?
In the world currently right now?
No, best British boxer, like...
Ever?
For you. Like, yeah, just for you. Don't matter when, and just for you. Like, the best one, like, your favourite one.
It's a hard question, you know. My favourite British boxer.
What about UFC? Let's go with UFC. Darren Till.
Darren Till, yeah. Darren Till and McGregor.
I know you man love Darren Till.
That's it, mate. There are so many fighters that I love in the UFC. Israel Adesanya is a fucking beast as well. It's a hard question though. There's a lot of fighters that I admire. In boxing, funny enough, it used to be Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
But I just love Tyson Fury, to be honest. I think Tyson Fury is probably... If there was one person I'd have to name, it would be Tyson Fury. And also Josh Warrington. I love watching Josh Warrington fight.
For me, it'd be a bit more old school for me. It'd be more like... For me, it'd be like a Joe Calzaghe.
See, again, I don't remember the Calzaghe fight.
Joe Calzaghe, for me,
but he's
best British boxer.
He's definitely in the GOAT status of British boxing because he didn't lose.
I've seen that fight with him and Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, serious.
Calzaghe's a serious guy.
And he dropped Chris Eubank as well. Dropped Chris Eubank in the second.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He beat a lot of guys.
The maddest thing is, right, his trainer was his dad. Never did any boxing training before.
Do you know one person, a fight that I watched where it was a bit of a sticky one, him and Bernard Hopkins. That fight there...
Bernard Hopkins is a fucking serious fight.
That fight there, Joe Calzaghe might have took an L that fight. Because I watched that fight, yeah, and I felt like he took an L. That fight, mate.
Sometimes you get those fights. Like John Jones. John Jones versus Dominic Reyes did not win that fight.
Yeah.
But he won it. But in the long run, it's not going to matter because he got the win on the record. So people aren't going to really remember him.
So who do you think is the best boxer of our time, like right now, like of our time, like in the past 10 years, in the past, let's say, 10 to 15 years, and including the next 5 years, that time frame there?
I'd say you have to put Vladimir Klitschko in that picture. For obviously Tyson Fury outschooled him.
It's Mayweather for me.
Oh shit, yeah. I forgot about Mayweather, yeah.
Mayweather's the coldest boxer forever, bro. Like, at the moment in time, in our time,
I forgot about fucking Mayweather.
yeah, like in our time, Mayweather's got to be that. Like, he's got to be there at the top. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well,
and I
no
know
one's done what he's done.
What?
No one's done what he's done.
Yeah, bro, come on, bro. 50 fights.
And he's fighting fucking Logan Paul. Thing is, he'll fight Logan Paul and he'll go on to fight Jake Paul.
What do you think of all of that? The whole YouTubers and that doing the whole fighting. I
don't really like it, to be honest.
Yeah, you're not fully on that, no. Do you know what I was thinking?
I can appreciate that it brings more eyes to the sport.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know.
I felt like that as well.
I don't think they should be getting pro fights. No way should it be, because Jake Paul and when KSI and Logan Paul had their rematch, that was a professional fight. When Jake Paul fought Anderson Gibb, that was a professional fight. And now Jake Paul's fighting Ben Askren as a professional boxing bout. Like, it's you know, the maddest thing is about that though is Jake Paul's actually got a chance. But at the same time, the way Nate Diaz put it, especially, like, you better be training unorthodox because you're boxing a wrestler, so his boxing is going to be unorthodox. So if you're going to be fucking boxing just standard training like he's been doing, you're not going to expect something unorthodox, and sometimes those are the hardest fights.
This is what I'm saying. This is the mathematics. This is the mathematics of fighting.
Because if he beats him, he opens up so many doors for himself. And you've also got to give. Do you know what? Jake Paul's an arsehole, but you've got to respect what he does. He gets everyone talking about him, whether that's good or bad. He's doing the right thing. He's getting his money, and he's got that much money. The guy doesn't need to be fighting. Like, fighting, boxing, MMA, kickboxing, whatever, mate, it's not a sport to be messed around with. Like, it's a serious sport. Like, you're kicking the shit out of each other, basically. So the fact that he's still choosing to do that when he's got millions in the bank, you've also got to give him some sort of respect for that. Cause
definitely, bro. He's
still fighting at the end of the day.
Do you know what I mean? You can't knock him, because end of the day, bro, he's doing his thing, you know what I mean, and he's making money as well. That's the bottom line. Like, what can you say? Do you know what I mean? Like, he'll be making millions off a fight. You know what I mean?
Do you think he's gonna beat Ben Askren?
I can't see him beating a professional fighter.
I hope not, mate. I would not be surprised. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them fought in the UFC, but at the same time,
you know, is it like he's either got a what do you call it? Got a fight with Mayweather.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul's got a fight with Mayweather.
Did you see Mike Tyson literally said to his face, like, mate, you've not got a chance.
What? He said to who?
Logan Paul, because Mike Tyson went on his podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was basically saying, he was just like laughing at it. He was like, oh, you're dead. Man, you're going to get fucked up.
Yeah, because this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, Mayweather and these guys, like, okay, you can train and... But obviously, that's what I'm saying, mentality. If you turn up on the day and your mentality someone edges it, you might edge it because your mentality is that nuts. But I just feel like your mentality can't beat someone who's trained for, like, all their life.
No.
Do you know what I mean? He's trained all his life.
From when he could walk, he was boxing.
That's what I'm saying. So all these emotions that you're feeling now, and you feel like, well, I've trained and I'm on it. He's been through that a million times.
He could literally just be on autopilot mode and just still be fucking the best.
And he could not even train for like, he could train for like, get back on it for like 6 weeks. You've been training for 2 years and he's back to scratch. Ready, match fit.
The thing is that this is the danger that when you start calling out actual fighters as well, especially like you see Jake Paul fucking called out, Nate Diaz basically came out and said that Jake Paul needs to shut the fuck up because he's going to get a slap otherwise. Jake Paul called him out to a boxing match, and in Nate Diaz's last interview with Ariel Helwani, he was like, yeah, I'll box him in the future. Mate, Nate Diaz would actually hurt Jake Paul. Hurt him. Because that's a different type of fight. You see like Mayweather and Logan Paul. Most likely, you'd like to think Mayweather's probably going to dance around a bit, let it go a couple of rounds for entertainment, because he knows that he can beat him at any minute. But obviously he's also a marketing genius. He knows there's going to be people watching it and money, so he's probably going to let it just go for a couple of rounds and then finish it. But if you get someone like Nate Diaz, bro, he's not going to give a fuck. He's literally just going to go and smash his head in. And then imagine how bad that
was. What, with no rules? So with no rules because I feel like Nate Diaz might get dropped, mate.
Nah, fuck off, bro. You telling me Jake Paul can knock down Nate Diaz? Nah.
Clips him.
No way.
If he clips him, he might just clip him. You get me? And you know, like, yo, bro, like, yeah, Nate Diaz, because we know Nate Diaz is just the guy that can just take punches. Like, you might be able to drop him, but like, yeah, don't mean you've won the fight. Do you know what I mean? But he might get clipped. Do you know what I mean? He might get clipped. Imagine if he get clipped. Oh, bro.
Mate, that would be bad. If Nate Diaz got clipped by Jake Paul, that would not go well.
He dropped on the floor.
Nah, it wouldn't be good. It would not be good. The sport would be finished. A YouTuber, start training for 2 years, comes and knocks out. Mate, Nate Diaz has only been stopped once in his entire career.
Innit?
No way is he getting stopped by Jake Paul, bro. Yeah. So before we go, I want to talk about obviously Preme Sound, because we haven't really delved into the Preme Sound a little bit. And obviously they are your boys, they are the man them. So how did Preme start? Like how did you and Preme start? What was the beginning of it?
Basically, like Mads, who's in the group, he went to school with K95 and Hamali, yeah. And basically me and Talon, we're cousins, like blood cousins. Like my mum.
So you're older than him?
Yeah, I'm older than him. He's 2 years younger than me. Basically, we was obviously I came here and my mum was friends with K95's mum. So when I was here, I was friends with him. So me and him kicked back together and do you know what I mean? Because our parents knew each other and that. So it was just like family, you get me? Because we're from the same place back in Zim. And, do you know what I mean? So it was just like family, you get me? We've known each other since young, innit? And
day one's basically.
Yeah, since day one, innit? And then talent came true and boom, and then obviously it's a family thing, innit? It's just a family thing, us three, and that was basically family. And Mads and Nigel went to school together. I went to school with Jake. But we didn't. Jake is like 2 years or 1 year older than me. So like we didn't really chat in school, but we went to the same school. I knew him. I think he known me in school and that, but yeah. And then after a few years, like circumstances in it, parties and that, and just shit like that, we ended up linking up, and then it was like, oh, we've got lyrics, and Mads and Jacobs, they already did music before. They already did music, and then K95, he was writing music. He started like writing, messing about, trying music and.
How old were you when all this was going on?
I was like 19, 20.
Oh, I thought you'd been together longer than that, me.
Yeah, well, we was friends. We was friends way longer than that. We was friends for like, since we was like, well, I'd say about around 17, 18, we started being like proper being friends and that, yeah, we were chilling a lot. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so basically them Mads and Jacobs, they did music before anyway, and then we came through, and then we was kind of like me, K95 and Tally, yeah, we was doing our own little thing. We was doing like a little music thing and that, and then we was like, right, we're gonna jump on a team with them, man, and we're gonna come as a free, and then we're like jumping on a team with them too, and then basically it was like, oh yeah, PTG, so Preme Team Gang, and then Preme came from the fact that Talent and K9, these two had a clothing mate called Black Preme in it, so Preme, so they had that thing then, and after a bit we was like, yo, what's the point in trying to do this whole we got this free and I might as well just make it one.
It's pretty organic then.
Yeah, it was mad organic, do you know what I mean? It just came out random, do you know what I mean? We ended up just having Preme Sound there, and then ever since then it's just been Preme Sound.
The first Preme Sound thing that you did was the Do For Love cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever jumped on anything, like musically. I was the kind of like the first time. Before that, the only thing I'd ever done was a video on Facebook. I put a video on Facebook and loads of people was like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like I was saying before, like I was.
Grime?
What?
Is that when you were doing grime?
Yeah. It was like a grime lyric. It's like a grime lyric. You know, there was some grime lyric and that, yeah, and then loads of people were like obviously fucking with that, and then that's when I started doing music, innit, really. I jumped on the thing, do you know what I mean? And obviously the whole Do For Love thing, I was like, you know what I mean? I had like a little bit of a vision, do you get me? Like obviously I wanted to jump on rap, like I like grime, but like I used to listen to a lot of 50 Cent and, do you know what I mean, a lot of rap music and that, so obviously I used to be like, yo, do you get me? And then, so when I was jumping on that, I was like, yo, I put on the Tupac tune, I was like, yo, I want to do like a bar to this, and I wrote a bar, and I was like, yo, I rate this, I was like, yo, my first tune, I want to like, when I put out, I want it to be kind of like this, and then jumped on that, and then went and linked up Jacobs and them, man, because obviously they was already on music, and then we laid that down, got them to a feature on it, and then we recorded it in my hands, BD9, shout out everyone that's in BD9, and yeah, and we wrapped it up there, and then, yeah, and it was out, put it out, and then that's when I was active. It's like, yeah.
That's when you started it.
That's when I started doing music. I wouldn't say I was like, yeah, Z serious, like, that's when I started like, oh yeah, I've got bars. That's when everyone knew I've got bars in it.
Yeah. So, what have you got planned for, or not you, or what has Preme Sound got planned for 2021? Obviously, you've just done the music video for Fiedler Bar, sorry. You've got Off License as well. Is that not official news there? Am I leaking it?
Yeah, well, slight leak. But yeah, we've got a lot of things. We've got a lot of things coming in it. Like this year, really and truly, like we've got a lot of stuff coming in it.
Yeah.
Like it's just like obviously it's just timing it right in it as well. Do you know what I mean? It's just getting everything right in it. So it's just one of them ones that
What is your have you set like a lay of have you set some like targets that you want to hit for 2021?
We just want to get like at least
Fashion Week came out on GRM as well.
Yeah, so we want to get like a few good projects out on big channels. You know what I mean? Just all like on GRM and like get a few big projects out and just kind of like get put out there so people know like yo, we're actively here. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like we've been making good songs and that, but we haven't really put ourselves out there, do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's the aim this year, do you know what I mean? Just kind of like get ourselves out there and push like as hard as we can, do you know what I mean? Like we're serious. At the moment now, everything is just planned to a T, do you know what I mean? Like we're every day it's a meeting. Because we're doing this lockdown and all these situations, so it's minimal linking, do you know what I mean? So we're just spending a lot of time doing meetings, planning videos, linking up doing videos, and do you know what I mean? Just getting stuff down, do you know what I mean? So even solo stuff, do you know what I mean? I'm putting a lot of planning there, do you know what I mean? So
that's good.
Got a lot of stuff coming this year. Musically, Preme Sound, the man them have got a lot of music to come this year, do you know what I mean? Like we're gonna be at a different stage. This time next year, we're gonna be doing we're gonna be all in a different seat, do you know what I mean? Even you, do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
I can see that. I can see it, do you know what I mean? I can already see it, do you know what I mean? Like, yo, everyone's going to be at a different scene. If we all carry on the way we all moving and that, and we still keep pushing it
I say this all the time, I honestly feel as though, maybe it's just Leeds as a whole, but I feel as though Headingley is full of mad talented people, you know.
Yeah.
Even Hyde Park as well, fair play to Hyde Park, I don't live there, but mate, it's a breeding ground for talent, bro.
Yeah, trust me, there's a lot of people that are mad talented, bro, everywhere, do you know what I mean? And it's just the only thing I'd say is like just don't fear whatever, do you know what I mean? Don't fear or just jump on it. Like if you rate something and you think that yo you can do it, just do it, do you know what I mean?
Say fuck it and do it and don't
just jump on
it. And also the one thing I said to you that I've learned is when you decide to bite the bullet and just say fuck it and you're gonna do it, you realise who your true circle of mates are. Because you'll get the people that will actually try and actually help you push it or actually be positive and actually like encouraging you to do it. So
yeah. That's what I'm saying, but you know what you always got to think here is like, yo, not everybody, like, this is why I used to say, like, yeah, when I was doing this music thing, I used to think, like, yeah, I get it, like, there's a lot of people that I wish, like, just shared my music and was, like, that was just on it, but I thought, do you know what, more time, they don't have to do that, do you know what I mean, they don't have to do that, maybe I have to just gain my right for them to do that, do you know what I mean, it's like, yo, it's a shame that if someone that you know, they should actually do that themselves, but end of the day, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, yo, you're still gonna do music, innit? Like, yo, you can't really, you're still gonna do your podcast, you're still gonna do your thing, you know what I mean? So, either way, don't watch that, innit? Just,
of course.
Just keep pushing, and either way, you realise, innit? The people that do that and that at first, when the time sets and that, you'll see them, do you know what I mean? They're like, rah, like, yo, what are you doing? So, you're doing your thing and that. Do you know what I mean? So, but it is what it is, isn't it, bro? You just have to just don't really watch anything in it. Just whatever you're passionate in, just do it, innit?
Well, Z, thank you very much for coming on, lad.
My God.
Oh shit, it's been a pleasure, bro. And it definitely won't be the last time that I'll have you on.
Yeah, man.
So, stay.
Hello.